Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Zia Atlee from KR, and today we are very privileged to have a conversation with Tesantha Naidoo, who is a principal consultant at Mercer, Africa. She deals with HR transformation, DI, OD, and career consulting. She has over 17 years experience working across all levels of the organization, from C-suite to blue-collar workers. And her focus has predominantly been on human capital practices from hire through retire, while always ensuring that the employee experience is top of mind. I'm going to dive straight in and ask you our first question. Where do you see the major skill shortages at the moment?
Thanks, Zia, and thanks for having Mercer as part of this panel. We run a global talent trend survey annually, and every 2 years is when we do our deep dive. And for the first time this year, we had, C-suite executives, we had HR executives, we had employees, but investors as well participate in the survey. Now, everything we do is focused on people. So to, answer your question, we had over 12,000 responses for our 2024 Global Talent Trends report. And, what we're seeing is that executives are really concerned about the fundamental disruption as a result of AI. Now, we've been talking about it for a while, but the time has come where we're now faced with the issue of, who needs to be replaced, what jobs are no longer relevant, what skills do we need? And, in fact, executives this year are so concerned about inflation, about digital acceleration, and then, the rise of alternative work models, because we were not equipped to, just become agile when we spoke about skills. So if we look at skills and, the technology perspective, there is definitely a shortage, but there's a big demand for technological and innovation skills, also followed by desirable personality traits. So if you look at, adaptability and things like a growth mindset, not everybody has it, but those are the kind of traits that companies are looking for to actually close that skills gap, because there must be a willingness to learn as well. And then if we look at collaborative skills, through collaboration, that's how you learn, and that's how you move quicker and become more agile as an organization.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. So what can companies then do to mitigate these skill shortages?
So, what we're seeing is that companies and leading organizations who have started this journey, the skills journey, their transformation plans are being driven by productivity gains, and AI brings that productivity. But at the same time, executives believe that jobs should be replaced, not people. And the people you have in your organization are already a good cultural fit. So why not upskill them? So what we're saying is, we need to place people at the heart of transformation, because when we speak about skills, it also brings about that element of psychological unsafety. People are uncertain. Do I have a job? Will my job still exist? What will I do in the next year or two? Excuse me. And so what execs are actually planning to do is double down on their investment in AI, but at the same time reskilling. So understanding, what skills do I currently have in my organization, and what will I need for the future? And high growth organizations have actually already made great strides in, the following areas of agility, which includes, skills, decision agility, and digital agility. Because if you haven't started on that journey, you're already behind, essentially.
And you were talking about some personality traits, like a growth mindset, etc. What do companies do? What is their, what are they going to do to upskill people on that? Can people be upskilled on it?
It's something you can definitely learn, but the key is being, beginning that journey. So, a lot of organizations use traditional off-the-shelf assessments, which are not necessarily testing for what you need to know. So, and I'm not bad-mouthing off-the-shelf assessments, because of course we still use them and they're still very valuable. But when it comes to skills, if you don't know what skills you have and what you'll need, it will be very hard to assess what the gap is. So, from a personality traits perspective, that can also be tested for. It's just ensuring that you're testing for the right things.
And making sure, obviously, like you said, that it's not off the shelf, or that it's relevant to your company and its culture and its values and the type of role that the person would be fulfilling.
Yeah. Correct. And there's a big element of, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging as well, because, it's creating transparency across the organization, not just for, a select few. So that's really important as well. And from a well-being perspective, mental health is an issue. It has been an issue, but it also is linked to the way in which the world is moving and the pace in which the world is going. So, you have to take your workforce along the journey when you're starting or when you're continuing on your skills journey.
And just in terms of your survey, because it's not an easy feat to be a leader in this world of work at the moment, and with all the disruptions and AI being thrown into the mix, and also your skill shortages. How do you find, or were the results from this survey showing that these leaders are on top of it, or is there quite a lot of work to be done?
So there are a few companies who are definitely on top of it, and we can see that based on the results, but the majority of companies are now starting the journey, which is also really positive. A lot of executives are stressed by the high labor cost, and that's going to continue, growing over the years. So the challenge then becomes, how do you manage labor costs but ensure that you have the right skills? So it's moving away from, that always buy model to how do we build and borrow within our organization, potentially with competitors as well, but borrowing and swapping skills instead of always paying premium prices for skills.
Mm-hmm. And just in wrapping up, if you could give us like one piece of advice from your area of specialization in terms of tackling persistent skill shortages, especially to HR executives in South Africa, what would it be?
So, I mean, we are having these conversations daily, and the key point would be to start, because, we talk a lot about like ESG, and that S is a very important component in terms of people's sustainability. So, starting that journey, just unpacking what skills you have, what capabilities you have, and understanding your workforce, because people want to learn. They're expecting organizations to actually, provide that training to upskill them. So the key point is, start the journey, understand what skills you have, and then be transparent about what you expect from your workforce. That would be the bare minimum.
Brilliant. Well, such good advice. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your insights. We are really, really excited to have you as part of the panel at the upcoming conference, and to have more of this conversation and to unpack this topic in greater depth. Thank you.